Greetings. Once again, this is the Get to Free Press, George Boston Rhines, and on March the 29th, 2019, there was a white man found dead here on Woodland Lane, south side, off of Forest Street, in this hedge of bushes with two trees. And we reported this. I don't know if your local mainstream news media ever reported it. And I talked about how the young man's hair had come off on the mattress inside of this little hedgery right here. And I notified an elected official here in the city of Valdosta. We're going to go in and see if the elected officials in Valdosta and Loudoun County respond to the taxpayers and to the general public when they highlight problems in the community. Once again, let's go in and let's see if anybody have done anything to clean up this. Well, we'll do it again. Today, by the way, is May the 14th, 2019. And I was called to this area on March the 29th. And at that time, a body was found on a mattress. The hair was still on the mattress after they removed the body. I don't know if the citizens of Valdosta was ever informed about this, but if you would check my YouTube channel on Boston G.B.R, you would see that I covered it, because the citizens have a right to know. After all, you pay taxes and are not a form of government. Many of your children have served in the armed forces to preserve their rights to have a freedom of the press in Valdosta, Loudoun County, the state of Georgia, and in the United States of America. And as you can see, the mattress is still here. Of course, the maggots and the hair is gone, but the scene is the same as it was when they found the man's body. Now, this is Valdosta, Georgia, Titletown, USA, a city without limits. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to report it again. I'm going to keep on reporting it, because I want you to know that when you contact your elected officials here in Valdosta, if you go before city council or county commissioners, it's just sad, y'all. It's really sad. Once again, Mr. Way Up was found right there on the 29th of March, 2019. The neighbor across the street told me that he had been in here dead for approximately 2 weeks. He saw vultures over the hedgery, and he called 911, and the rest is history. Once again, this is the Get to Free Press. I'm George Boston Rhines, and I can't understand why somebody have not done something to clean this up. Now, let me tell you why, in my opinion. I'm not elected official. Nobody elected me to office. Here's why I think this needs to be cleaned up by somebody. Because somebody else would come right here, a homeless person, and make their bed or their home right in here. Now, if they would have removed the chair, somebody got the bike, and if they removed this, then just maybe a person would not make a home here. But I can guarantee you, almost guarantee you, that eventually some homeless person gonna come right back here, because there's a mattress. See it right there? They probably won't know that a man died there, because after all, if the news media don't tell the people, and if they don't watch my channel, they'll never know. Once again, I came out here on the 29th. I've been back about 5 times. I talked to an elected official here in Valdosta, and I'm sure she notified the mayor and council, but yet and still, as well as the police department. I was here when the police removed that young white Caucasian man's body. But then again, who cares anymore? We fight the wars of this nation. We elect people to public office. Well, then again, we in Valdosta, Georgia, a city without limits, and who cares? Greetings. This is the Get To Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhines, and I'm standing in front of the Valdosta, Lowndes County Judicial Complex under the Southern Judicial Circuit. To my right is the flagpole where there is no Georgia flag. And I've been talking about that in this town for about 3 or 4 years now. And our elected officials here in the Valdosta and Lowndes County in the state of Georgia apparently do not care enough about our active duty, disabled, retired military veterans, and the parents of veterans whose children lost their life on foreign battlefields. Now I want you to know that Valdosta and Lowndes County in the state of Georgia is home to Moody Air Force Base, where we have lieutenant colonels, majors, and commissioned officers stationed. I am a retired veteran of over 20 years. And when I look up and I think about Mayor John Gale, and I think about the chairman of the Lowndes County Board of Commissioners, and not only that, but I think about all the religious leaders here. I think about all of the elected officials in both city and county governments. I think about all the retired military people who go to the VA clinic here in Valdosta. They don't even fly a Georgia state flag to honor our military personnel. I go to the museum. There is no flag to represent and respect members of our armed forces. I go to City Hall with Mayor Gale, and I do not see a Georgia state flag flying. I come over to the city annex, and I don't see a state flag that members of our reserve forces serve under in time of natural disasters. And I believe that we can do better here in Valdosta and Lowndes County. Now, if nobody else says anything about it, I'm going to continue to talk about it, because I honestly believe that Valdosta being a metro city, I cannot give not one reason why there would not be a Georgia flag flown on government buildings here in the state of Georgia. Now, if you go to the U.S. Post Office, now, they don't have to fly the flag, but it seems to me that somebody in the state of Georgia should care something about the members who have volunteered to put their life on the line to serve this country. And I'm going to continue to say it. I've been before the elected officials here in Valdosta, and a lot of people have seen me post many videos. But very few people see a need to respect members of our armed forces until Memorial Day, until Veterans Day, until there is some kind of event, maybe like the death of a veteran that died in combat or something of that nature. Then we all come out and they dip, they duplicate, they imitate, and they placate that they are concerned about veterans. Now, Quitman, Georgia, they have a Georgia flag. Adel flies the Georgia flag. Atkinson County City Hall does not fly a Georgia flag and is disrespectful to all men and women in uniform and those that have paid the ultimate price. Atkinson County Courthouse does not have a Georgia state flag. Check out the Sheriff's Department, Police Department. And so all I'm saying to you is, young people, especially if you are black Africans living in America. Why should you serve in the armed forces when you know that they are suppressing your vote and removing you from office after you are elected? Now, the news media will not tell you this because we have documented proof from Madison, Florida, with the Madison, Florida 9. We have proof in Quitman and Brooks County with the Quitman 10+2. We have proof from Meigs, Georgia, with Linda Harris. We have proof from Camilla, Georgia, with Mayor Davis, and even the black female mayor that was before him that they ran out and driven out of office. Then we have proof for Lumpkin, Dawson, Warrington, and I could go on and on to about 30 of them. So we must understand today. And so let me get back on point. I am thankful for our form of government because as long as I've been talking about no Georgia flag, and you know what? When I come to this courtroom, I just sit in sometime to educate myself. We have Judge Edwards. We got a lot of judges. But if I was a judge, and if I entered these doors, and I look up there at that flagpole, and I do not see a Georgia flag, wait a minute. If I was a police officer serving the public, and I go to City Hall, and I did not see a Georgia flag. If I go to the city annex, and I don't see a Georgia flag, when I go to Georgia Military College, and I don't see a Georgia state flag, when I go to the VA clinic, I'm talking about the VA clinic. Can you hear what I say? Even the VA clinic. I'm going to say it again. The VA clinic don't even fly a Georgia flag. Now you tell me if that ain't the most disrespectful act. And you have veterans going in there, some of them was injured in combat, and you can't even fly a Georgia state flag. And in time of natural disaster, they call out the reserve forces. And you know what? I don't blame the elected officials. I blame you, the religious communities, and the general public for not demanding that your elected officials show respect for your children, grandchildren, and great-grands. Isn't that something? But in this country, I'm talking, wait a minute. There are a lot of retired military veterans from all branches of the service, just like I am. Now, I can't understand how veterans can walk up here in this courthouse, the Lowndes County Judicial Complex, where people come expecting justice, and there is no Georgia flag. I just say to myself, what's going on here? Are we that far behind time that we just backing up from the masses of the people? What's going on, y'all? Once again, this is why when people come to Valdosta and Lowndes County, they say we are 50 years behind time because we refuse to change from the old 1860 Valdosta City Charter, which I saw on the wall of Valdosta City Hall leading into Judge Edwards' courtroom back in the day, and it read that the mayor and council shall pass all proper and necessary laws and ordinances for the control of slaves and free persons of color, and to suppress and abate all nuisances arising from hogs, dogs, horses, and other livestock in Valdosta. Well, it's just like flying the flag. Many people, I'm sure judges had been there, but they didn't say anything. But when I saw it, I had to speak on behalf of the active duty, disabled, retired military veterans. I had to say something. And so they reluctantly, under former Mayor Freddie, they eventually took down that flag. And so, they took down that charter, that 1860 charter. They took it down. And so, I don't care what the people say here in Valdosta. If they don't see that a mother feels the pain of her child when he go off or she go off to war. But apparently, the people you vote into office, they could care less. And so I'm going to continue to say it. And while I'm at it, I'm going to say this, by the way, because I don't want nobody to take this negatively, but I do want you to take it as a historical fact. Now, I'm going to say to all of you, you can get mad with me, but you should appreciate me. You should appreciate me. Yes. You should call me up and say, Brother Ryans, man, we sure appreciate you for standing up for our children because we won't do it. Yeah, it's okay to make comments, release this video, and say, Brother Ryans, thank you for standing up for my child because I won't do it. He in the Marine Corps, he in the Army, he in the Navy, he in the Air Force. But I haven't said nothing about respecting the military personnel in the state of Georgia. So, Brother Ryans, I want to thank you for doing what my elected officials will not do. And so I'm waiting for your comments. I know you're all going to thank me, but this is not the only thing that I take on. I'm going to add it. In fact, I'll add it right behind this video. There was a white homeless guy found dead March 29th over on Woodland Lane off of South Forest Street, back up in there, next to a park in a tree hedgery. He was laying on a blanket. He was found dead. The man who lives across the street told me that he had been dead approximately 2 weeks, he believed, because he had seen vultures over the trees. And his body was decomposed. I have it recorded. I even recorded when they removed the body. His hair was left on the mattress. Maggots was in his hair line. They left part of that on the mattress. I got it filmed because, see, I believe in freedom of the press. If your Valdosta Daily Times didn't tell you about that, if you go to Boston G.B.R, you can see the whole complete video, including when they brought the body out. If you don't see that on your TV stations, then understand they don't care about you. Because if they cared about keeping you informed, and if they cared about your children and those in the armed forces, they would fly a Georgia flag. Especially since I've been talking about it for 3 years. But see, we are in a world today where people don't care no more. All they care about is getting to heaven and the hereafter. So I made about 5 trips back out there where that man was found dead. And do you not know that they did not even remove the mattress? They did not clean up that scene. I have been out there 3 times, recorded it, and posted it on this YouTube channel. All you have to do is Google homeless man found dead. And I don't know if your news media reported it or not, but even the news media cannot say that I did not tell them about it. But the question is, who other than me told you about it? I know y'all don't care. Most of you just don't care. I understand. But I'm praying that one day we have a new breed of citizens move into Valdosta who will become concerned about more than themselves and their own family. Well, I'm going to close this video out now. I do this because I served this country and I took on the requirements and obligations of the code of conduct. You took it too if you're a veteran. And I want to say to you, you all have a nice day. And the only time that I will turn my back on you is when I'm going to help you.